It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Maiyegun Live. This evening, I want to do something like, a lecture-like presentation. I want to try my best to convince you with facts why the breaking of the current chain of the shackle of one Nigeria, which has benefited nobody but the gatekeepers. So, dear panel of judges, member of the Temple of Truth tonight, we will do this together because we want to learn one or two things. Share the broadcast. Why do you want Nigeria to break up like from what it is now? Take a seat. If Nigeria break up, some people will suffer. Some region will suffer. This will happen, that will happen. All of those myths, I want to try my best once again tonight to give you the bullet points. If anybody should hold you anywhere and they want to have a conversation around there, why do you think Nigeria should break up? There are some key things you're going to pick up tonight. And like somebody just said, go for it, Maiyegun. Of course. Have you shared the broadcast? Have you liked the broadcast as we speak, which is your own offering? Have you even subscribed on Maiyegun's Diary Politico? Take a minute as I get myself ready to.
Lórí Facebook.
Thank you very much.
Lórí YouTube. And yes, Bàbá bá gbé wúrẹ́. And yes, Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. And yes, Presido bá rúfin o. And yes, Gómìnà kówó jẹ. And yes, ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. And yes,
Thank you very much for joining me. And thank you so much for, sharing the broadcast, sharing the video so far. However, if you have also read the caption of the broadcast, you can make your own contribution accordingly, or maybe you take your time and just listen for a while. So this presentation tonight is going to be in two phases, so to say. So the first one is this talk, my talk, and all of that. Then the second part is going to be our second fundraiser tonight, which is going to be the continuation of what we continued last night. So I want to say thank you to all of you, my friends, who responded to the call that we should up our pots last night. So while we were live, we received over £800 from all of you, who chipped in your own contribution. So thank you. I also received another £120 in Diaspora Radio, that this bank account with the sort code that I shared on my screen the other day. So I received £120 there. If you are the sender, just know that I received it. Okay, I don't even know if it's sent by two people or if it's sent by one person. Maybe I should confirm that before we go. Also, just yesterday, I also confirmed that we have on our PayPal an extra £30. So thank you to every one of you who actually did that or made that happen. So let me check if it was from one person or if it was, I think it was from, this was from two donors, okay? One person donated £100 through the bank. Another person donated £20. And I don't know if it's the same person who sent both, but I got them twice. So thank you. So in a nutshell, just last night, well, yesterday evening, and today, we've managed to raise an extra £1,000. So thank you to every one of you. So our plan and what we're going to do in May, I will begin to present them to you by the time we have the overall of our balance. How much do we have in savings, Maiyegun? I'll be able to tell you by the end of the month, when we can then say, this is what we're going to spend this coming month. So thank you to every one of you. You see, every now and then when people talk about the injustice and the unfair arrangements called Nigeria, they actually born many of us into this. The struggle for the imbalance, structural imbalance called Nigeria, has been in existence even before we came. But when we came, and we also grew up into it, we realized that it has become a sort of a commercial ticket for those who can peddle them very well so that they can have a seat at the table of the gatekeepers of Nigeria. The injustice in Nigeria, which is, like I said, structural, started from 1966 when every part of Nigeria was forced together without their consent and began to obey one single command. That was the beginning of one Nigeria. The one that has now breeded so much disunity, distrust, bloodbath, corruption, and poverty. Above it all, insecurity capped with terrorism. All of this started as a structural imbalance from 1966. Many people tried to readjust it, but not all of them were genuine. Many died, others benefited from it. But the people have always been the loser. That was when they gave birth to us. So we met a system that they foisted on the entire people, strange as it is, and they managed to sustain it on the bloody state-sponsored killings. Now, from 1966 till now, what they have managed to achieve with one Nigeria, a structurally imbalanced one Nigeria, is the divided Nigeria that you have today. And it is never going to go back to anything that, like they've told you before. Now, talking about structural, it is structural when they forced a system that robbed Peter to pay Paul and then gives no responsibility or accountability to anyone. So that system was the system that breeded this fake, corrupt, fraudulent, bloody democracy, demonstration of grace that you have now. So people were unjustly put together without even asking them. Now, they gave you a constitution in 1999. It is called Decree 24 to further entrench that structural imbalance. Of course, no singular part of Nigeria succeeded in doing this without the collaboration of every other part of Nigeria. And that is why when people like us said, those who made this happen are especially those who claim to speak the same language like us, those who claim to come from us and the rest of them, we have discovered that this is not the North versus the South, Muslim versus the Christian, Igbos versus Yorubas, APC versus PDP, and whatever you want to call it. It is completely class war. And for those who are benefiting from the class war, the gatekeepers, the status quo should remain, even if they have to kind of gloss over the problems, ignoring the structural imbalance. As long as they get paid and they maintain their social class, Nigeria should remain one. But this is why it shouldn't. In 1960, when Nigeria was to become independent, the colonial masters and those who were the first forebearers, called them the first men who took the mantle of leadership into an independent Nigeria, they acknowledged every indigenous people in what was to become Nigeria, and they didn't just acknowledge them, they legally, right, recognized them, which was why the system of education, the system of economy, the type of law they practice in most parts of northern Nigeria was modeled, structured to fit in into the vision of those who were their first men. No interruption or no was allowed from the other side as long as they were going to fund it. That was the arrangement. Same thing for the people of Western region, for the people of Eastern region. Now, that was a structural arrangement that recognizes the importance and existence of every indigenous people who was to be part of the bigger Nigeria. And it worked because they had the opportunity to tap into their own resources for their own development based on their own understanding and exposure at the time. So the effort you put into your own development is the result you get back from it without having to depend or rely on any other part, even if you are from the same country. Because the arrangement was very clear. The regions will fund the center by ceding a portion of their own revenue or tax return and what have you from what they make from their own regions. That's how you fund the center. Independence of these regions will limit any kind of, unhealthy rivalry that Nigeria has now forced on the rest of us, which, assuming it actually worked, nobody will complain. But eventually it didn't work. It has led to mass bloody killings of these same indigenous people from their own lands where they have always been being chased away because a system that is so strange was later adopted without their consent up to this moment, right? So everybody had their own ways. You give a portion of your own of your revenue, your resources to fund the center. What are you funding in the center? You will be funding your general defense. You will be funding your border control. You will be funding your immigration through them. And these other few things that you probably will have to agree to fund and a portion of what you make. Now, what does that mean? It simply means if any part of Nigeria is poor, there will be clearer explanation for why. But today, the Nigeria poverty is a shared mystery because it is complete man-made, caused by class war. There is no Yoruba man. There is no Igbo woman. There is no Hausa man. There is no Fulani woman. There is no Ijo man or Idoma woman. There is no, Egba Ijebu, whatever. The people who are the gatekeepers benefiting from the rots, they don't see themselves as you will see yourselves. And this is why They know the structural imbalance is the reason why what they called exclusive lists and legislative lists. How did Nigeria arrive at a stage where terrorists invaded every part of the country? Citizens are being slaughtered. Millions and millions of them are living in refugee camps. How did Nigeria arrive at that? It started from the 1999 fraudulent constitution, which further cemented the fake one Nigeria of 1966, which gave the exclusive control of all resources under the command of the federal government of Nigeria. And if you know the genesis of the federal government, there is nothing called federal government in 1960. It was a parliamentary system of government, okay? Which means the party with the majority in the parliament from the regions, from everywhere, they will be the ones to lead the parliament. They will appoint the prime minister and the parties from these other regions, right? They what? They were elected their own premier, the majority there. And which means it is just like that. So if you are not winning majority in the parliament as a political party, you have to partner with other political party from other regions in order to form a quorum and form the government at the center. Parliamentarian system of government. That was what the British handed over to Nigeria in 1960. Okay, so it was until 1966 when this when the military coup of January 15, 1966, which was thwarted and then aborted by Agunyi. That's a kind of a mixed up history that many of you today have been told that the first coup in Nigeria was carried out by the Igbos, led by Agunyi. That's one big lie that they have kept repeating to many of you. Not many people actually who have really followed their history very well will believe that, right? But it was these young soldiers led by Kaduna Ezeogu. Kaduna Ezeogu happened to be a northern northern Hausa boy who happened to adopt Ezeogu for some reason. And, now when they started their coup, they said that the politicians were living a extravagant lifestyle, the prime minister and the rest of them. So they said they wanted to rescue the country. So they staged a coup. It was the Agunyi squad who finally thwarted the coup and stopped them. But before they could be stopped, they've already wrecked and killed, the northern leaders, killed the western leader. Awolowo was in jail. That was why Awolowo was not killed at that time. They wanted to kill all the political leaders everywhere, right? So Irosi stopped that. Irosi was appointed the military head of state. Then Irosi now made one big mistake. That big mistake is the mistake that costs the peace of Nigeria of today. And that was the mistake. Exact mistake, right? Should I even call it a mistake? Yeah, let's call it a mistake. A very, very big generational mistake that those who later happened to be the terrorists who now changed the fortune of Nigeria to what you are now calling federal government. Agunyi Ironsi suspended the regional system of government. After stopping the coup, he said he wanted to unite the country. You get what I mean now? They've killed all the leaders of the regions. And fortunately for Zeke, he was on a tour. He was doing a tour. I think they said he was doing a tour of the Caribbean or somewhere. That was what spared him. Awolowo was in jail. That was what spared him too. So if not, they were all marked to be executed. And they say, oh, they spared Zeke. Now they killed all our leaders. That was what happened 6 months after that. So Aguiyi Ironsi made that terrible mistake. He abrogated the country, he suspended the regional system. 6 months after that, 7 months after that, July, the Muritala, Buhari, Babangida, and Dongoyaro, there are many like that. They decided to retaliate the killings of their leaders. They've killed Sardauna, they've killed Tafawa Balewa, they've killed so many people in the north. These young soldiers, they're now going in Ironsi after he stopped the coup. Those they found to be members of the coup that were arrested, Aguiyi Ironsi was slowing down in prosecuting them. He put them in jail, right? And they were asking him, they said they've been caught, kill them, execute them. Aguiyi Ironsi was slowing down. So that automatically they felt like Aguiyi Ironsi was involved. Now, it was a plot for the Igbos to control Nigeria. That horrible mistake was what led to the 1975 coup. By then, it was retaliatory. Let's kill all of them. Let's kill every Igbo. Let's kill everybody. And then we'll go back to the north and we'll break away from Nigeria. It was this northern Nigerian Muritala, Gowon and Co. It was them that first muted the idea of breaking away from Nigeria. Because you know what? Back then, it was easier to break away because the regions were there, structurally put in place. So Yorubas could say, we want to go. And all they have to do is what? All they have to do is to just conduct a referendum within the Western region. Do you know that Western region was as far as a Delta? What is today's Warri? Delta. The entire Edo everywhere was part of the old Western region. Just same way you have today's old Eastern region. The whole Eastern region, which later became Biafra, comprises of all of those places they call Niger Delta. Structurally, even as they are Niger Deltas, they are Ijaws, what have you, they have proper representation in the administration of their region. So it was easier. There was no division of state by state, local. No. So what the military, Muritala and Co., what they wanted then was that they killed our leaders. We will kill all of their leaders since we'll do it in Lagos. Yeah? So when we kill all of their leaders, then we'll move back. And that's exactly what they did. When they caught up with Aguiyi Ironsi, Adekunle Fajuyi in Ibadan, and they said, give us your organ. We didn't come here for you. We came here for Ironsi because Ironsi had already suspended the regional system. He appointed Odumego Ojukwu as the military administrator, commander for the Eastern region. Adekunle Fajuyi for the Western region. I can't remember who was the Northern region, wherever then. And he himself, the commander of the Supreme Council, the military Supreme Council. So they wanted to kill everybody. So when they killed Ironsi, killed Fajuyi, killed everybody that they could kill, they retreated back to the northern Nigeria and they were ready to declare Arewa Republic. July 1966. So suspending the regional system for 7 months already put everybody on the edge. Okay? On the edge. That what is going to happen now? Is Nigeria going to go to war? Because this is not what they signed up for. And they were ready too. They were like, we will never be under the command of the Igbos. So all these things, all these hate against the Igbos, all this profiling, gaslighting. That's why I'm saying that if you get any issue with anybody, deal with that person. Don't see that person, don't see that his tribe as the problem. I keep saying that. And that's why I said that when we are talking about the Fulani terrorist, no matter what they have shown us today, no matter how terrible, how divided we have become today, do not fill your heart with so much hate that you will become so blind to what is actually real. No matter the history, we grew up seeing the Fulanis on our streets. We know them. We call them Boros, this and that. They have never had the audacity to pick up guns to say they want to fight us anywhere, anytime. Until these people started putting the cells everywhere. And they started importing armed terrorists that they are now forcing on. And we said, if you're a Fulani, you should come out boldly. At least if you're a Fulani, you have your different states in northern Nigeria. You have your different local governments in northern Nigeria. You have your emirs. You have your sultan. You have everybody who are actually like Fulani this, Fulani that. You've never put yourself on the truck and start driving down south with guns and says you need land. Until this Boko Haram came and they imported terrorists into Nigeria. And many of you, when we started talking, you started there, you started defending them. Because to you, it was hate against Fulani when we saw terrorists killing, maiming, kidnapping innocent people. But I keep telling my friends, we know the rogues in our city. We know the rogues in our forest, and we know those who brought them, and we know those who are defending them. So if you get any issue with a man, you will fight him. If you have issue with a Yoruba man, you will fight him. Don't say because you have a problem with a Yoruba man, then the entire Yoruba people have problem with you. That is why we need this. That's the division they brought. You know, back then, it was easier. So they said they wanted to leave. And according to the historians, they said they told them, the British, the American, in fact, it was the British ambassador, the American ambassador, and I think they said there one French ambassador at the time who approached them and advised them that currently they expected the South to fight back. But it doesn't seem that they will fight back. But if they want to break away from Nigeria, they will be the one to lose because they are the only region that always gets extra support on their budget every year. To the point that the British documents show that since the colonialists came to Nigeria, to what is to Africa, to what is today's Nigeria, they have been running at losses for every kind of investment they made in northern Nigeria. This may sound insulting to some of you because you'll be like, they are stupid because they are taking all your agricultural produce and everything, shipping them down south to the sea, and they are taking them to their country and the rest of that. However, they have a bookkeeping record which showed what they were making from both sides, to the point that they said the reason why they have to match the north with the south was that the northern Nigeria was not economically viable or profitable for the colonial system, for the colonial masters in the UK. And the only way to do it, to balance it up, is that for the running of government in the north, right, they need to be taken from the south. And it started from 1915. 1915. 107 years ago. So it's always been like that. So when these guys were advised not to leave and they stayed back, that was when they brought about the federal government. Federal. With the idea of, you know what, we will now create component states. That was when Gowon announced the first 12 states. That was the beginning of cutting families, cutting relatives, dividing ancestral lands, cutting people into people where they will become minorities, until when they cut them into 36. And that is what gave birth to this federal government, federal. That is not what our forefathers signed up for. And that is exactly what or why today the kind of strife you see around, the crime, the corruption, it is the idea of a federal government, which now got cemented with the fraudulent 1999 constitution. So what did that do to us from that 1966 to 2022? I'll tell you. So it gave those who now became the new gatekeepers, the new power holders, the opportunity to now divide Nigeria as their estates, developed a kind of a template that will be adopted as the Nigeria system. Anyone who try to deviate from that is doing for one thing, is calling for war. But look at it this way. For 62 years that they have now managed to put this fraud together, it has brought us nothing but ruins, destruction caused by the greed of the few, the selfishness, self-centeredness of few has cost us a lot. And I'll break them down for you one after the other now. The system of Nigeria is what you can describe as rob Peter to pay Paul, and a system that breeds incompetence, laziness, as much as corruption. That system which gave the entire control of Nigeria to one center, the same center that used to get its support from the region, is now the center that is now feeding the entire regions as it wishes and when it wishes. Now, the population of these regions are growing. They now call them states. So the population of these regions are growing. The system has created a large government, right? From 3 regions that gained independence in 1960 to 36 states, from 3 premier from each region to what we now have as 36 governors, 36 deputy governors from 3 different parliament houses representing the 3 regions and 1 central house representing the entire country, to what you now have as 36 state house of assemblies, 2 national assembly, and then on and on and on. So the system reproduced itself in order to further take away what could have gone into the development of the people after using law, their fake laws, to take everything away from everyone and present itself as the savior, the Father Christmas. If we don't use this system, some people, some states will not have money. Some states will not pay salary. Why did they create states? Why did they create these loopholes? Because it is the only way to keep us in perpetual poverty. I mean, look at them. They are all going to be fighting for 36 states. They want to be governors. They want to be presidents. You want to elect 360 House of Representatives. You have to elect 109 senators. Then you have to replicate same across the 36 states. Then you have to pay them. You have to house them. You have to clothe them. You have to feed them. You have to even pay for their health care. You also have to pay for a lot. And they have nothing left. And the system says, it is one Nigeria. If we don't steal from everyone, to serve this few, Nigeria is going to break, and they don't want Nigeria to break for that reason. Now, what they are taking away from us are so monumental that structurally it is impossible to develop anywhere in Nigeria. Don't be deceived by all those flashy elephant projects that they always love to display. Super highway, new university, new hospital. This man just supplied 1,000 bed. All this nonsense that you see, they are just glossing the problems, making it look like something can happen, when structurally it is completely impossible. You see, when they say Nigeria is so blessed, Nigeria is not blessed. It is the indigenous people who got trapped in Nigeria that are so blessed, but Nigeria stole it from you and continue to steal it from you, even when Nigeria have no capacity to even make use of 1% of what you are blessed with. And I'm going to, like I said, breaking them down one after the other is why you understand how did we arrive here, and why is election not going to solve anything when the structure itself is being ignored and everybody is saying they are the savior. We can do this, we can do that. And then you think they could try, then they ended up failing you again and again. And then you be like, man, Nigeria problem evil spirit they cause up. No evil spirit causes anything. Your ignorance causes majority. But I'll begin to tell you now how this really affects you in a nutshell. Maybe not in a nutshell. Piece by piece. When you have something called exclusive list, that says that the federal government of Nigeria, by law that is written by Abdusalami Abubakar, the decree of Abdusalami Abubakar, said by their decree, the federal government of Nigeria owns every resources under the land, over the land. I'm sorry, under the land or under the ground, under the land. They own it, including that water you are drilling. That is why when they knock at your door and say, we don't give you water, and you go drill borehole, this is your bill, water bill. And you say, we drilled the borehole ourselves, we put this thing up, you didn't give us water, no nothing. Why are we paying? Because by law, that Nigeria law, the water we under the ground said, now then get them. Which means you cannot do anything, even as a state. You know, governor, you have Yoruba governors, you have the Igbo governors. They cannot do anything without the approval of the federal government. This is how it gets ridiculous. So now the states have access to some certain things they can do, which means they can cultivate the land and grow crops, agriculture, you know. That one, nobody controls that. So you can become a state of, your state can become billionaire state by investing in agriculture. I'll tell you how the system encourages the corruption that always pop up lazy criminals who did not come to take care of anything. They came to take their own share because the system is called Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited. So, but the ridiculous thing is this: no matter what you are blessed with in your own current locality, things that could turn your life around, things that could create immediate good paying jobs for your children, things that can improve your local economy. If there are local laws that allows you to access them as indigenous people did this world, the way they go tell you, see, they be billionaire. And now what did they do? They do clay. Then get place where we say their generation, they extract clay to make pots, to make this, everything, and they are importing all these pots you have in your room, all these different ceramics and all of them. There are families who make them. They will say from generation to generation, they've been doing them for 200 years. You know why? Because they were allowed to use their own resources. They are allowed to tap what is right there and develop it. But you are not allowed to forsake. I'm just using clay because our mothers still use clay, so they still use clay to make our pot and every local pot. So I just use that kind of example for as simple as that. But a state government cannot use them except they go to Abuja for approval. A state cannot say, we have a timber, so we want to invest in that. We want to make sure that if you cut down a tree, you are going to plant another one. I mean, you're going to plant another two in replacement. You know, that kind of policy that states can use to make money. Limestone that they used to make one of the very important material for cement. The state government, as much as they all brag about with their sirens and everywhere, intimidating you here and there, as governors, they have no say except Abuja. And guess what? In that Abuja, people will want grow Nigeria, including crude oil. People will want grow Nigeria since they control it. They won't give the license to those states who owns them. They give the license to individuals of their own choosing. And that is why they choose those who drill, who extract, or who steal anything from your backyard. And you'll be asking yourself, how is this going on? And government is not arresting them. Let's go and report. Report to who? Reporting to the people who send the thieves. And the people who own all these resources, they live in abject poverty. They did not just go there. They don't just go there to steal all these things. They destroy and ruin the environment. So look at it this way. When you look at those who control the oil blocks in Nigeria, the real people who are in the oil industry in Nigeria, you won't see a state, they will say, river states. They are the ones extracting their oil. They are the ones who allocated the oil rigs. They are, you know what I mean? They are only giving some change to Abuja. No. But you will see one Danladi, Alaji Danladi, Alaja Fatimotu Gombe, Pascal Umbakwe. Individuals are being given oil blocks, oil rigs that is meant for the development of the people in the country. Look at that. Listen to that. It is deliberate. When I said something about structural imbalance and the beneficiaries who are the gatekeepers and you who are actually those who are the victims of this one Nigeria, you may not understand what that structural imbalance means and how it affects you. Now listen, Rivers State, they will say is oil producing state. But those who are drilling oil in Rivers State, government of Rivers State, they don't have anything to do with them. All Rivers State have to do is to go to Abuja and say, how much oil did you sell? How much oil did you drill? How much are you going to give us? They say, no, wait. Now, how much we sell? This is your share. In Rivers State, they will travel to Abuja. Ondo State is oil producing state. Imo State is oil producing state. Abia State is oil producing state. If the regional system is working, nobody needs to go to Abuja now. Maybe the people of Eastern Nigeria will be going to Enugu, their headquarters, to discuss about oil sale, oil drilling, the government and those who control the oil there, including other resources there. Who is getting it? What are they using it for? This and that. They don't have to go to Abuja. But Nigeria is structurally done that they have to go to Abuja and beg for money. That is what is called structural imbalance. I'm still going to tell you the consequences of that. I'm only giving you the examples now. Examples of what is called structural imbalance that is systemically put in place over time. And the 1999 fraudulent constitution came to cement it. And here we are, divided, impoverished, at war, terrorized. Yet, those who are parading themselves as the patriotic leaders in Nigeria, they are merrymaking. But you and I are running and dodging from the bullet of the kidnappers because the system allowed it, and systemically, it broke down. So structurally, the people of Imo State, the people of Abia State, the people of Enugu State, the people of Ondo State, the people of Ogun State, the people of Lagos State, the Yorubas, the Igbos, the people of Bauchi State, we talk say they don't discover oil right now. They don't know anything about their oil or those who owns them. Because Nigeria said they have taken over, they have taken control of everything. That wasn't what it was in the beginning. Do you understand? So when Nigeria took over everything, federal government, they now shared it to individuals. Dangote. You see? Because Nigeria doesn't sell any oil. Nigeria collects percentage. It is called royalty. You don't have a clue. Now they take all of that and they ask people to help them sell them. Help us sell now. Oh yeah, pump the oil, pump, sell, pump, take the oil. And those who owns the whole thing, they have no idea. But every month they will go to Abuja to go and beg for money. The people of Atakumosa in Oshun, Abi, the people of Oshun State who have been witnessing strange gold miners, the people in Benue, the people in Kogi, the people in Enugu and all those places that you have been witnessing and seeing illegal gold miners, Chinese, they didn't just come from China and they just suddenly found themselves in Oshun drilling your gold. They've sold the license to somebody that has never been to Oshun State. So far that geography shows that there is gold deposits there, gold deposits here, just like your crude oil. Nigeria knows about that, and they give that to whoever they want to give it to, and that one becomes a sudden billionaire, and then you want them to allow Nigeria to break. So when we say break up Nigeria, what we are asking you to start breaking up from is this fraudulent arrangement. You need to first know that we need to break this fraudulent one Nigeria first from our mental, from our mental consciousness. It's not real. For the sake of national unity, Nigeria cannot give account of what amount of crude oil they actually drill from Nigeria every day. They don't have a clue. They collect percentage from those who are selling the crude oil. They brag about it. And when those thieves, their friends, they share this, they allocate all your resources to. Imagine this, taking away resources from states, giving it to individuals of choice. And those ones will now, in return, they will be putting billions into their political parties, putting billions into supporting coup, putting billions into this and that. You see them everywhere, opening banks. But they never really invested that money in the amount of resources that you are blessed with as an indigenous people in that Nigeria. No single part of Nigeria is not blessed. No single part. But because the resources of Nigeria, they use their fraudulent book to take it from you and share it to themselves. Then some people are parading themselves, since they can always go to Abuja every month to collect money, collect allocation. They can use a letter-headed paper to get loan, billions of dollars of loans from abroad. So what else do they want? Ben, if they said we should change this law now, that means we'll begin to be accountable. So because you have no access to your real resources, then you have lacked the ability to invest in the people. You know, when you have enough money from your resources, and you invest in infrastructure, you build schools, you fund them, you build hospitals, standard hospitals, you fund them, you build stable electricity, you fund that. Because from your resources, you have abundance of that you can actually redevelop to further get more people into jobs. But the system doesn't need that. Do you understand? Yeah, Nigeria system doesn't need you to reinvest in control of your resources enough to create and spread wealth, a sort of a balanced and just society. So, because of that greed, they don't want you to have access to that wealth. They don't want you to. If you have access to it, you are going to question them. If you have access to it, you are going to challenge them. And that is not the idea that they had in mind when they put together one Nigeria. And you, the victims, you probably don't have a clue too. So what did they do? They abrogate everything to themselves and they started sharing. Dangote, you will give you the key to the central bank. Anything you want, okay? Anything, just ask. Go and build refinery. Nigeria, as big as Nigeria is, as much as Nigeria makes so much money from oil, and from wherever they make money from, they cannot build a refinery. So Dangote, you as an individual, you must be able to build a refinery. Now take the key. Don't tell anybody. Just say your consortium, your friends, everybody put money together to build a refinery for you, because Nigeria cannot build one. It is the system. So what did that now do? It denied access to real resources. If you have been following the rest of the world and how much they invest in public infrastructure, you will realize that it is a shame that people parade themselves as representatives of people in any part of Nigeria today, and they continue to give themselves pat on the back that they have done so well. Investment in the people starts from investment in the infrastructures used by the people. For example, education and safety of children when they are in school, so paramount, and it should be part of national. And you know, one thing about that is this. In 1960, every region developed their own style of how to invest in their people. In Yoruba land, on record, we invested a lot in infrastructural development like healthcare, education, agriculture, things that you can say the real farm settlement where people actually live on farms, and then, mechanize their farming as far back as the 60s. Things that could have possibly have been built upon to have become, gigantic, institutions today. but they were stolen away from us in 1966, and we've never recovered from that since then. So when they take everything from you, and then you have to go cap in hand to beg, yeah, it denies you the opportunity to attain your real potential. Remember, the system already created or duplicated positions by creating fake fraudulent states that suits their agenda, which were not primarily for any development at all. Because by creating states and creating all these things they created, they will create positions, politicians to man them, and an opportunity to further loot whatever comes to any of those positions they have created. So it is all planned that way that you are left with nothing. There's no money to pay no money to pay the teachers. There's no money to pay there's no money to pay the doctors. Not to talk of the money to pay the security, pay the police, pay this or pay that, pay the fire service, fix the road. There's no more money because your governor needs allowance for his own new house, new cars, his trip abroad. He wants to go and bring investor to come and invest in his own shit hole. So he needs to take some people abroad and he needs some money. He needs some money for a new office. They need a new place, a befitting office for the people who can't feed themselves. Yeah. By the time they now say, okay, let us go and construct a road, you know what that means? So it is the system. Look at this. I was surfing the net as usual. I do that all the time. I'll start reading some of these things out, and you have an idea that if every party is on their own, there is no part of Nigeria. If Nigeria break up, there is no part that will ever suffer of anything, because the potential to be great is embedded in all of these lands, even before you were forced, all of you were forced together. Check your screen, oh. This is out there on the internet, and I just want to have it there for children who are possibly watching now, to let you know that all this in a working country, there is no part of Nigeria that should be poor. But politicians have had it so easy that they have stolen everything away from you, and they can only tap into 1% of what you are blessed with by using their law to forbid you from touching them. And you have to wait till thy kingdom come. Yorubas won't have to wait. Oh, take a listen. Look at this. Abia State. Look at what they have. Look at Abuja, Adamawa, right? Akwa Ibom, Anambra. Look at that. Bauchi. Just keep looking at your screen, and you get to have an idea of all of these things that are not allowed to be used or tapped into in commercial quantity to be extracted in any parts for real by the system in Nigeria, except those who are making them for their own personal use that are never for the betterment of any. But when you have your own autonomous region, the ones that our own forebearers signed up for, these are equitably shared, and this can be equitably and well used judiciously, right? Even as far as Borono and all that. Yeah? All the lands with what they are blessed with. Yeah? Gold is popular. Yeah? Bitumen is popular. Clay is popular. Lead and zinc is, they are popular. Coal is popular, cotton and all that. They are popular things that in commercial quantity, they can create millions of jobs. In fact, many of these things can actually give you 24 hours electricity. There are many of these raw materials that are being used to produce the battery, produce part of your phones, to produce part of the component of your TV, electronics, you know what I mean? Car part and all that. But they are buried down there, and you can only read about them online in papers and all that. But an independent autonomous region of Yoruba land, for example, the advantage of being on our own is monumental. You know, we did tell people then, we said that, you see all these resources that you've just seen now, they are there buried, you know, under us, under the ground. They are just secondary to what we have to survive. If our own affairs genuinely is in our own hands, including how we choose or the style or system of government that we will choose. Back in the days, yeah, we only had one regional assembly. And one regional assembly represented the entire Yoruba land. That can be expanded than what it used to be, to have every part of Yoruba land represented. The advantage is this: in Yoruba land, the most valuable resource we have is the people. Without oil, without agriculture, without anything and all of that, with what Lagos is and where it is currently situated as part of Yoruba land, without oil, without anything, Yoruba will even survive far better without them, because we have the human resources. We have a lot to offer, because we have a lot we are already offering in different fields. Many of these experts and many of these side of us are even under tapped or underutilized as we speak, because of what Nigeria has done to us. The people. Look at me. I am one hell of a resource as a Yoruba man. Now think about 70 million of me. So we have the number to rally together and develop Yoruba land by channeling our own resources towards the betterment of the Yoruba people, without having to go cap in hand to somewhere. They take 100% from you and they give you back 20%. How do you develop on that when they have already created the lacunas, the potholes, the bottomless potholes to take it from you, the politicians, and you have crumbs left with? An autonomous Yoruba land, an autonomous Yoruba sovereign nation will give us a full unhindered control on what type of government do we want. We don't need 6-7 governors or whatever in Yoruba land, because we can't afford that. It is the wasteful system of Nigeria that created all of this, and today the beneficiary gatekeepers are even richer than the states they are supposed to be leading. Talk less of the people they are supposed to be to make their life better. That is what this Nigeria system creates. A system that we had in Yoruba land was not an extravagant one, and therefore we are not rich to fund an extravagant political lifestyle or political system in Yoruba land. And guess what? There is no president, there is no vice president in the type of Yoruba sovereign nation that somebody like myself will propose. Let everybody start their own political system in Yoruba land. Let's have Egba People's Union. Let's have Ijebu Nationalist Party. Let's have the Akoko, all those stuff, and send your own representatives from your own local communities as your representatives to the National Assembly, where everybody, where those with the majority will form the government. Trust me. And then if there is no party with majority, then they have to go into an arrangement with an alliance with another party to form the quorum. This idea gives the control to you. You don't have to elect any president. No. Let them choose a leader from their party. We will also stand an election as a representative from his own people. So it doesn't come around and say, I have the mandate. Which mandate you decrease? The mandate starts from the people who elect you first, before your party gives you the leadership. And when you become the leader of your party, if your party wins the majority seat in the parliament, then you become the leader of the government and you form the government. You push your idea, which has to be the Yoruba first, Yoruba idea, Yoruba agenda. So when you push that, if you fail, in 2 years there will be another election, parliamentary election. So if your party lose out of the majority, all of those all of those threats and all of that will end. Another people will form the government. If they not do well again, then another 2 years you elect another set. With that is where you can say you can start the process of building a country. Yeah, maybe they build them small like that. Let's build it like that. So with that, people will learn how to work together. People will learn the idea of a building together. People will learn that their country, Yoruba nation, is the most important. Nigeria doesn't give them that. You know that. They come around to campaign to you and say, I am a supporter of Tifnumbu, vote for me because I'm APC. Oh, I'm a supporter of Atifku, or Obasanjo is my leader, vote for me because I'm a PDP. No. The people have to decide the type of system they want. I just gave you an idea. So this idea will not make one person feel like, no. That is not how to build a country where you have a lot of poor people who want development and they want growth just as fast as like yesterday. You don't glamorize rogue. So it starts from that system. And that is why we said, if they push very well, and we understand what kind of Yoruba land are we talking about, it has to be the one that is different from the one you have now. Far different from it. It is not the one that we say, it's going to be, no. It's not going to be a so perfect one. But you will make it to your own perfection. Yeah, it's not perfect. It may not be the super perfect one. But it will be the one you decide. You see this Nigeria, coupled together by the fraudulent 1999 constitution. Inside that constitution, it said that we, the people of Nigeria, agreed. Where did they do the referendum? Where did they do the ratification of 1999 bill that later became constitution? Do you remember? So in a Yoruba nation, we have an idea of a system that should work there. So if you are a local political party that manages to win a particular part of the Yoruba land, let's say you have 600 seats and you have one speaker and one deputy speaker, chief whip, 600 seats, and you say any political party that can win 380 seats, they are going to form the government. Yeah? So that means all of them must go all over Yoruba land and ensure that they sell their idea. If it is going to be education, they know that that education policy must cover the entire Yoruba land, and it must be very well explained how they want to do it, how they want to fund it, where the money will come from, so that people can know before they choose your party. So if you bring out any terrible policy, now your party members will lose their seats. It is as simple as 1, 2, 3 or RBD. So when you give control to people that way, you take away control, you take control away from those who are called godfathers, the rogues, who are now going to be buying political forms for their own proxies. They will send them to State House of Assembly in Nigeria, so they are loyal to them. In Yoruba nation, in a Yoruba sovereign nation, you will never have anything like that. It will be impossible to do. Because you have the rights as a people, even as part of Yoruba nation, you have the right to continue to carry your identity as an Ijebu, as Oyo, as Egba, as, wherever you are, wherever you come from, you still have that right to carry that your identity under the banner of a united Yoruba sovereign nation. Which means you can go as far as launching your own indigenous political party, Egba Nationalist Party, Ijebu People's Party, anything. And you can also elect your own representatives. Can you believe that? That was what it was before Nigeria happened. So which means if you are elected on the platform of Ijebu Sovereign Party, and the Ijebus are interested in a big commerce policy, it is your job to make that a national policy. Now, when you bring that kind of rivalry, sometimes those who win the landslide, one single policy will just sweep them away. Nobody will say we can use the military to. Nobody controls the military. None of them controls anything. They are just there to make policies, argue them out, throw them into the public. And if you, the public, disagree with any of their policies, you have the right to occupy the streets, and nobody, no politician that knows that he's going to lose election, if you send military or send soldiers, send police to come and brutalize you, they know they will lose the election in the next 2 years. Would they dare you? That is the kind of Yoruba land we want. Now, the advantage of that is this. Yorubas can have a central assembly, a central assembly where we can sit together and we can discuss all of the problems and the needs of the Yoruba people, because it will be much like the central issue. Sure, you won't come back here in 2 years. Sure, you want your party to still control the government. You better think very well before you take side or vote. That's the kind of Yoruba land I want. They will discuss water. They will discuss power. They will discuss commerce. They will discuss defense. They will discuss sports. They will discuss food. They will discuss civil service. they will discuss a lot of things, and they will ensure that whatever they discuss is paramount and is implemented. In Nigeria of today, they don't even have anything they are discussing with you. They are still coming back to what? To tell you about water. I will give you electricity. We will fight bandits. We will do this and that. So, and you ask, where is the National Assembly? When this whole calamity befell Nigeria, it's because the system created them too. It is their duty and their job to protect the system, even when they pretend to be kind of fighting for you. Don't be deceived, man. Come on. And don't be naive too. Nigeria's structure is imbalanced, and that is why they are now using what they called national election. And guess what? It is the corrupt politicians that will choose your INEC chairman, the umpire to conduct. It is also your politicians that will also provide logistics for the umpire to conduct your elections. Therefore, giving them the unhindered access into determining the end goal of your electoral process even before they start at all. That is so unfair. And you know why they do that? Nigeria has become a game of number. Nigeria is a place where the strong will have to strangulate the weak. According to the Bible of the narcissistic political actors in Nigeria and their own supporters. So it is because of this that if you don't have the number, your idea, your opinion, even if you join them, will be swallowed by theirs, and then you will be lost in between, and then you have to figure it out. Should I back out or should I join them since I can no longer beat them? And that is why we advise you not to ever take the risk of joining them. I will advise you, if you can't join them, if you can't beat them, right, as they say, call others to join you in beating them. And that is why people like us said, we know the truth. The ideal thing is to educate the minds of our people. One Nigeria is structured to keep you poor. Okay? Seriously speaking, it is like a narrative of crabs in a bucket. You may have 1,000 crabs in a bucket, but you see those ones at the top, they are likely those who are going to climb close to the top. They're going to climb, and sometimes they will jump out, and they'll be kind of far better than those who are trapped beneath the buckets. That's exactly. So when you now take a look at the numbers of those that will manage to crawl out, then you realize that majority are already trapped in between. And that is why and what Nigeria did to you. There is no leader that is going to change that. Okay? There is no, there's no a leader that's coming to fight for anything for you. All right? They will tell you a lot of things you want to hear. They will promise you a lot of things. They will tell you that they're going to amend the constitution and the rest of that. The truth of the matter is this. Yeah? Those who benefit from the rigged system, they will never, ever want it dismantled. And that's why people like us don't really I don't support it anymore. And I keep preaching and spreading the message of if you know the damages, because at the end of the day, when the whole thing they took from you, systematically, right? Or systemically taken from you, right? And then deny you the opportunity that those resources could have provided you, then what do you get? You have a society where crime thrives. You have a society where corruption is the order of the day. You have a society where police can no longer police anymore. You have this situation whereby the defense can no longer defend anybody anymore. You have a situation whereby it's going to be like a dog eats dog. And this situation, my brothers and sisters, will not lead us to anywhere other than where it has led those who have died. It doesn't matter what killed them anymore. Nigeria happened, and it will continue to happen because the gatekeepers of Nigeria are those who are keeping this imbalanced structure, and they are telling you, asking for it to be dismantled, break it up, loosen it up, and free the regions. Begin the process of a complete breakup of deconstruction, because people can survive on their own if the greedy class, the gatekeepers, are kicked out. How are you going to get there? Some said revolution, and I said I agree. The revolution that we are going to continue to do mostly is the revolution of the mind, letting you know that if you deconstruct your mind of what they have told you and you understand the picture clearly, you probably will begin to accept the concept, the idea, and the approach that people are proposing, that except this is done, it's just going to be a rat race, catch 22. We keep going in circle and in circle, but unfortunately, not many of us will make it round the circle. Some will have to be gunned down along the way. Nigeria will happen as long as more people continue to live in that ignorance. Some choosing, we call it selective amnesia or so, but you don't have an excuse, even if you haven't made up your mind. Even if you don't know if you should support the advocacy for the self-determination, and then to condemn the act of the Nigerian system that is criminalizing the self-determination campaign or advocacy, if you haven't made up your mind, but are you going to deny everything I've told you that this imbalance, unjust structure has done to us? And the fact that those who are angling to take control of Nigeria are not really interested in discussing this they call it a power divisive line, so to say, a sort of divisive line, a line that shouldn't be crossed. They are not talking about them because they are benefiting from them. They are benefiting from it, rather. And you are just a disaster waiting to happen. It is your choice. You can no longer excuse your ignorance anymore. You support them. You support what is likely going to come after you afterward. I was reading it just a moment ago, and they said that thieves, they stole 44 million from APC secretariat. Then I read further, and they said that their new chairman, who happened to be a thief, standing trial for corruption, right? But he's been forgiven now, and he's their chairman. He said, if any APC member wants to become president and he cannot afford 100 million naira per ticket to get the form, then he's just joking. He's not serious about becoming president. And many other things, they said that Buhari also sent DSS to go and look for a bogus 300 cows stolen in eastern Nigeria. There was a news, they said that they stole 300 cows. They have stolen 300 cows, and they have kidnapped the others in eastern Nigeria. And they say, they've sent soldiers, they've sent DSS to go and look for them, but it ended up being just a bogus. Who's going to steal their cows when they are telling them that they should push their cow out of the Igbo land and go and find ranches for them elsewhere? Yeah. And then among other rubbish that they have said. So if anybody is telling you or angling to become anything right now, and you are angling for them to, or championing for them and the rest, ask yourself, to come and take over what exactly? None of them could talk about this. None of them will call for a new constitution in Nigeria. None of them will call for a national conversation around this, because they are not coming to resolve any problem. They are coming to milk it. And you are going to be here still complaining. So we choose to educate people more. And we choose to take it offline, not just online. And we have been doing that, especially this month of April. And people have responded so well for this, to this as well. So I want to say thank you continually to all of you, my friends, who have been so supportive of this initiative of taking our campaign offline, taking it into the streets. And I bet many of you have actually seen this. You've seen some of these billboards telling you about a Yoruba nation now, Yoruba nation now, Yoruba nation now, across Yoruba land to the key entrance points across Yoruba land. We have done this and we will do more in this coming month in May. So this is the part that we have been waiting for. The part to give a second update on our fundraiser. So we did well yesterday, I said. So I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back now, we're going to start the second part of our fundraiser tonight. And I want to see if we can do even better than yesterday. It is pay week, all right? I don't have excuse. You don't have excuse, except there's some financial stuff coming up here, which is always anyway. So if you don't have any spare or any disposable cash at all to give, don't worry. Just share this broadcast, because this next part, I'm going to take calls. You're going to call in, ask me questions, make your contribution, right? And at the same time, we're going to raise money tonight. So I will be back. And when I get back, that's exactly what we're going to do. So thank you very much as you do this. And if you don't want to be part of that, well, this is the moment. You can call it a night, okay? But to my friends, stay back. Don't go anywhere. We will do a fundraiser. And I'm going to take your calls as well. Let me make some tea. Is the answer? So I love those guys. Right. So first, I'm going to share my screen with you to let you know where we are starting tonight, and we can take a count. Can we make a tenner? Can we make 20? Can we make 30? Or can we make more than that in the next hour? It is up to you, especially you, my friends, all over the world. So let's stop the account, and then, we'll take it from there. So bear with me. I'm going to get the screen on. I mean, get the page on the screen. And if you really want to call in as well, you can make use of the number, which is always WhatsApp. Add your own voice if you want to, and if you don't really feel like, fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share the link in the comment section. Again, please give only if you have. There's no compulsion. It is voluntary. So here we go. I think I have a call. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I just lost your call. If you are the person who have been ringing there, okay, because I'm like multitasking as we speak. So it is voluntary. And if you have any question, you can possibly use the number on your screen as well tonight if you have one. So give me a sec. Right. So we have good one. One sec, yeah. Sorry. Hello there.
Tuale.
Oh yeah.
Wale, Baba.
Oh yeah, Wale. Straight up. How you doing?
All right. Yeah. I did, my brother. This is not Steven. Steven Ejiofor from Texas.
Steven, Baba, I cite you. Baba, how are you?
I'm doing good. To God be the glory. We are here.
Class, man. Go for it.
My brother, thank you so much for this education that you actually try to remind us this night by even showing us some of those natural resources, untapped natural resources that generations to come cannot even exhaust it.
That will create millions of jobs, honestly.
This actually shows the world and we the indigenous of these regions that we really have no leaders. Imagine with all these resources, none of these our leaders are talking about it.
No.
All we have are ruiners, thieves, criminals, shameless
and
idiots.
Beggars, pickpockets.
And beggars, shameless idiots. Can you imagine? Just imagine the leaders like Awolowo having all these resources available for them to utilize. Can you imagine what they would have done with it? Can you imagine if leaders like Awolowo and the rest that founded that nation, if they had knew all these resources were available, just imagine the kind of things they would have achieved. They only achieved with cocoa and coal and the rest of it, just what they achieved. Then imagine this numerous more quantum of resources, what these people would have achieved. I weep for our generations. We have no leader.
We are in debt today, borrowing money everywhere. Nothing to
we
show
have
for
it
it.
done. Can you imagine? You are borrowing money with all these resources on ground. You are still telling me that it's only oil, Oh my God! All those our leaders to be brought together and shot in the head. They ought to be shot in the head. Can you imagine? What is Dubai today? What resources did Dubai use to transform that desert into this dream? I don't use Dubai is not a reality to me. It's like a dream because I don't know. I don't know how these people came about it. Imagine Dubai with what they did with Dubai. What did they use? It's just their natural oil, just oil and natural resources of oil. Making all these artificial lakes, artificial this, artificial that, artificial this. Because they have leaders that are thinking, are using their heads. We have leaders that are only using their balls to fuck women on the street. Yeah. All they know about is to marry. Go to buy house there, buy house. How many of those houses are they staying in? None. They have women up and down, up and up. Can you imagine this mind-boggling thing? It saddens my heart when you just reminded us of all these things. It saddens my heart. And 99.9% of the indigenous people in Nigeria are not even thinking in that line anymore.
No, they are not.
Everybody is now thinking about how I will get light. How I could go buy one Congo of Gary?
Or they are praying that one day, one leader will just come and give them the light. It's not going to happen. That's not how it works.
For where it won't happen. For where it won't happen. Please, my brother, may God Almighty continue to use you to liberate generations unborn.
Amen.
Because I don't even know that our generation is liberated. Let us even try and synthesize this, our locals. Let them see what each region, imagine each region now, start using their resources and see with these new technologies on ground, with these new technologies on ground. Imagine in the next 10 years.
Sure you get?
Gbogbo ala ma gbé báàgì wa lọ kí là ń jó ṣe ní ìlú kí ni resources wo America ní resources wo ní UK ní. Tó yẹ pé Ondo ò ní. Tó yẹ pé Delta ò ní. What are we talking about here, guys? This thing should even make us very angry. This thing should even make us very angry.
Ordinarily. And that's why they don't like me.
Very angry.
Yeah, they said I'm trying to make people angry. I'm trying to make them to fight their leaders. You want to make us fight our leader. Why don't you come back home? I'm like, you should be thanking me. Because now you have a reason to even fight them. If you want to fight, you have reasons now. Or you are not.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine this country all this kind of quantum resources and there is no light, there is no loan, there is no health care, there is no social security, there is nothing, no security, there is no food. God damn it, man! You guys, we all should be mad about this. We all should be crazy about this. They're talking about the election. Electors to what? Electors to do what? A country that is using over 90% of its resources to service debt. Can you? If one of them service debt to someone, doesn't want to principal loans. Nobody is thinking about this. You're still servicing debt, even the principal loans is still growing. It's not even being touched.
No.
Yeah, they want to go and borrow more money. Man, I'm telling you, we are playing. We are fucking playing. Our daughter, our name that for us. We are fucking playing. How many of us can even sustain this kind of life we are living here? We are slaving. We are slaving here in diaspora, slaving to even maintain ourselves and accept our relatives are over there. And some people are talking about people, they're going to you don't do that already. You don't do that already. Can't deal with it. Baba, you know, be making it, man.
Amigo. Oh, thank you very much. Anyway, I like the fact that you let out this team. Stay safe, Baba.
All right, you too,
nice
Baba.
one.
All right.
That's Tivo. So we received our first and second donation. One sec, dear, my caller, please. We've received our first and second donation for the night. That means the first 5 minutes we have received £55. So let's keep it coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an hour to do this. Hello there.
Good evening, Mr. Maiyegun.
Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Very good. First of all, I would say very good job for what you're doing. But you know, it was I'm so happy you mentioned that topic, which was regarding saying, oh, you're causing this, you're causing that, because it's like these people actually forget that the problem is living with them in the country which they are, not even you that you're in the diaspora. You know, it was so sad watching someone like Sheikh Gurumi will say, "Oh, give me so amount, let me go and negotiate with the bandit." How? Where do they do that? You know, like you have military men that can actually follow him, locate this bandit, wipe them out for once, but he took the money, went to net. It's like UK government negotiating with terrorists. How can that possible?
Help me.
You know, in one country. You know, then you have a president like Buhari that's a Nigerian president, and he spends more of his time even in UK. I'm sure he has UK British passport or something, because I can count how many times this man has been with this.
And I think they keep that.
You know?
Yeah, go on.
It's like, you know, they forget like there's so many problems in which is rely with themselves, and they're not even trying to look. Because look at this now. The problem is Nigeria don't get it right this next election. They will never get it right for many years to come. You know, especially the youth, because they forget like the problem lie with the youth. I live in the UK. There are so many amount of students I've seen in the UK this year more than any years in my life. everybody's literally leaving. Anyway, anyhow, they just leave it.
Yes.
Because the country is so hard. And now they will still be want to go and sell their future in this next election for bag of rice and bag of salad or whatever they're going to give them. It's like you said, it's not the problem of tribal war now, whether you're Kogi or Yoruba or Igbo. It's about the problem of the future and getting it right this next election. Because if they don't set the panel now, the next generation that are coming, this one have not suffered. The next one that are coming, because it's like all these leaders now, or let me call them all these old men.
Dealers.
You know,
I call them
from
dealers.
You know, they have nothing. When I say nothing, they have no plans, nothing for the. You can't even ask them, what are you going to offer? It's the same life, same strategy, same nonsense, bringing rights. Like, do something else. What can you offer? We live in a technology world. You can't offer an average. ASU strike has been on strike for how many years now, or how many days? You know, like, if the women have turned to use social media to turn to strike, you know, it is just, there are so many, it's like, they left their own war and they're focusing on you. Like, how can you be their problem when they have so many battles they have to face and win? You know, and they are not getting it. My only problem is I'm pleading to the youth. Once and for all, you know, they shouldn't forget, like, the NSAS blood is still on their neck.
Yes.
You know, even if they want to sell their future, they should remember people who died during NSAS. And for this one time in their lifetime, they should make right decisions. Because trust me, if Nigeria, if this youth lost it during this next election, it's going to take them another 50 years. Because nobody else, there's no sin that could be greater than you killing random people that just went to peaceful election.
Peaceful protest.
And nobody tracked them for it. The Lagos State government came on live TV and was lying like an idiot. You know, Lai Mohammed came and he was saying that live Instagram is Photoshop. Like, how? Don't disgrace us. How?
And they actually have their own children. You know that? You probably heard them said all those.
So it's like, you know, there's so many things that I just want them to, for once and in their life, you know, not to collect this rights and whatever they're going to give them. Make stand their ground that we want change. And we want, because everybody should be able at some point, whether in diaspora or local, we should be able to come together and say, this is our country. Like, Europe is getting crashed. Europe is going to finish at some point. We need a place to go back. You know, and it's just so sad, like, you know. But anyway, I don't want to take other scholars' time, and I'm pleading to you.
I love your eat there, and yeah, let's talk to another people too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice one, Baba. Thank you very much. So again, my caller, I am going to say, give me a sec. Let me thank my donor, please. So in the first 10 minutes, we have one sec. In the first 10 minutes, we have now raised how much? We have raised 205 pounds. So first 10 minutes. Thank you to all of you who actually chipped that in. And gone. It seems that we have actually received more than that. Wait, I've just seen 300 pounds from Olorun Ife. Olorun Ife, I have seen your message. Now you top there now. So it seems that we have raised over 500 pounds now. 800 to this. We have raised over 400 pounds rather. So thank you very much, my friends. Let's continue. Let's keep it coming, please. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir.
I'm happy to get you online today. I've been trying you for more than 3-4
voice, sir. Hang on. I don't like being ambushed. Is that you? For real, sir?
Yeah, that is my daughter.
Okay, is that okay? Now, your name and where you're calling from, if I may ask, please.
My name is Additional Asmo. I'm calling from London, from Essex area.
Class. So your voice actually sounds so familiar to this Additional.
Yes.
That I met at place. Is that you? Is that you, sir?
No. I'm always on.
Okay.
No, that is not me.
Sorry,
I'm always on
Your voice sounded like that. But go on, sir, please. Sorry.
I'm always on Koike program or your program.
That's amazing.
You see, my brother, you've been doing a good job, Abba.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
But God will continue to empower you, to bless you and your family.
Amen to that.
See, the problem is not even about our leaders alone. Baba, I just came back from Nigeria on the 6th of March. Individually, we Nigerians, we are not good to ourselves. You understand me? You see, they use 3 things to punish us in that country. Ask me what are the 3 things.
What are they, sir?
Hunger, poverty, and religion.
That's true.
And if they are hungry, you don't have food to eat. If you give them 1,000 naira, you understand me? And they say, Tinubu is having rally somewhere in TBS. Everybody will come out. I want 1,000 naira. You see them, they will go there.
They will rush down.
That is the kind of subject was this. And I remember I make a comment just now on this story. Just remember me. I remember my father rest in perfect peace. It tells me that when they are running the regional government,
yes,
he said all the way from Asaba. Asaba has been controlling all the way from Ibadan, as in Western region, control. That's Asaba. That is from Onitsha Bridge. That is where the Western region starts from.
That's right.
But today, ask most of them, those idiots, gold diggers, non-entity senators, they don't even know the history. They don't even know that below most of them. Most of the things you are saying that you are using to educate people, they don't know it. They have nothing upstairs. Baba.
No wonder
you can imagine
Tinubu one Nigeria.
Yeah, that is it, Baba. You can imagine Tinubu and Bo. Even though if he became president, depend. You understand me? Baba to this small grave. And you can't portrait to any the president. Baba, where we have thousands of new digital brain, young, vibrant Nigerians.
Yes.
So what are we talking about? The only thing is for our youth in Nigeria. They always say, you people are in London, and you are in America, and come home, and you are saying we should fight them, we should do this. You can't expect people in diaspora to start coming home. The little support we can give is this kind of program you are doing, Koiki is doing, other people are agitating, you understand me?
Yes.
Tally support one. Those are the things we can do.
At least we even have to see, there are people who said they will go back, right? But we are not seeing that kind of enthusiasm in them to show that they actually want something different too. You get that? So when you are like, like Shore said, if you want to fight for them, you have to also, as you are using one hand to fight those who are oppressing them, you will be using another hand, blocking them from stoning you, the people you are fighting for. You will be using one hand to defend yourself from them, while you are using this other hand to find the people who are fighting them. Is a complicated one because they don't seem to be ready, of course.
Baba, you won't blame most of them. Believe me, Baba. I just came back from Nigeria. I won't lie to you. March 6th. There is hunger. There is poverty in that land. That is what they subject them to, Baba. You can imagine someone will wake up in the morning. He didn't even have common 1,000 naira in his pocket. A whole family man with like 2-3 children. He don't even know what he's going to feed them with for that day. Baba, important subject must see me. So most of the time, we can't blame them much. I always tell people, they blame one. But nobody is happy in this kind of system now. But if I go Nigeria, if I come back, as I day inside plane like this, when we don't nearly the land for intro like this, I go just swear for myself. God forgive me, sha. I'm not to go back to this course again. Wake up 4 a.m. Bath begin, dress begin, begin go to work. Then go, if my country good, which are the fact? Yeah. You understand me? Nigeria is a blessed country.
Could have been.
It's a very blessed country. But God, I don't know. Maybe I should use God. I should not use the other one. God just used the evil women and evil men. You understand me? As a leader.
God must hate the people of Nigeria that much then. Like all this while. How come now only the evil ones? God must have hated us so much. Oh. Have you never thought about that?
And one senator, one senator, they collect $70,000. Baba, since when they sit down for that house, between me and you and everybody when they hear me, there are some of those senators, they've never raised one motion like this. And it's been there since maybe like 1999. He continued to represent his constituency. The one that represents my constituency, my father built house in Ikeja, around under Ikeja, cement area. Falik, or what are they calling it?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything he has done in that area. Baba, when I was going to primary school in the 80s, the same way that road, that street has been, same thing.
Still.
Nothing changes.
I know.
Baba, I really appreciate your program and I'm happy to talk to you tonight. Let me not keep other callers.
No, I
will save your number.
I actually love your tone. That's one thing I love about your presentation. So thank you. All right. You have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Right?
I'm after letting that.
Sure.
I'll save your number. Nice Thank you very much. Nice job, bro. My regards to your family.
As well. Yours too. Thank you, sir. So I have another caller. So here we are. Let me refresh.
Yeah, hello.
Let me refresh if we have. Sorry, my caller. 1 second.
Okay.
Right. So we have not received any add-on to our contribution. So I have another caller. Hello, sir.
Yes, good day, Maiyegun.
Good day to you. How are you?
Strong man. I appreciate what that last caller said, and I agree with everything he said.
Okay.
Apart from one thing.
Please.
Apart from one thing, and that one thing is the fact that we don't have to blame the people of living in Nigeria. See, if you don't fight for your own freedom, who's going to fight it for you? Freedom is never given for free.
No.
Everyone that has had freedom in the history of the world, at some point they have to fight for it.
They asked for it and they fought for it. Exactly.
Yes. Yes. It's never given on a platter of gold.
No.
And another thing again is we in the diaspora. I feel it's time for many of us, not all, many of us to come down to that Nigeria and lead from the front.
Right.
Because our exposure has given us so much information that we need to pass down, counsel, teach people in the rural areas, because a lot of them are so dumb and hungry and poor that just like the last caller rightly said, that when a man is hungry, he cannot think for himself. All he's thinking in his head is how to quench his hunger at the moment. There is nothing you say to that hungry man that will go into his head or that will make him act or fight for his right. You understand? So until something else, ignites him or waken his consciousness, that is only when he can begin to act. And you see that as he's hungry, and that is the tool you need also to fight against what is oppressing him.
That's right.
But he just needs that awakening. And that is why many of us in the diaspora, we need to go down. We need to
take it upon themselves. Yeah, maybe people should take it upon themselves every time they go back home, right?
Yes,
and you find yourself among the people.
And educate.
Yeah,
exactly. We should take it as a yearly task, to go down there and educate, sensitize. You don't have to make it loud, right? If you are too afraid, you don't have to make it loud. For those that are not afraid, you make it loud.
Something.
Yes. For those that are not afraid, make it loud. For those that are afraid, you have to make it simple. At least within your class, people that respect you, people that know that you're knowledgeable, and people that respect you, you educate them.
Yeah.
Little by little, it is spreading, because those people, what they call it, like when someone talks to somebody, so this person talks to this person, it's spreading.
God networking and all of that, now.
Yes, it's spreading. It's spreading gradually. Word of mouth. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And many of us should make this as a project. Go back there and sensitize the people, gradually telling them how it is here, showing them videos. Even if it's a projector, you show them videos, show them history, show them things. Let them watch and see for themselves. With that, gradually, you're building a mass movement that will take over the country.
God bless you.
You understand? And saying that we in the diaspora should not participate. Listen, Nigeria still remains our backbone, whether we like it or not. And the respect they will give you here in a foreign land is because of where you're coming from.
That's right.
And until you fix that backbone, you can't get your full respect. You understand? You will only be respected individually, but not collectively as a people. So that is why we need to take it upon ourselves to sensitize and educate the people. And what you earlier played about the history of Nigeria and about how senseless our leaders are, how they've neglected what they should be doing, and all of those things. These are the things that these people at the rural areas need to know, so that they can awaken their consciousness. Thank you. Let me allow that caller.
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much for your time. That's another caller there from the US. So we have an add-on now to our donation online. Thank you so much. Somebody just put in £20, which now takes our total raised fund now to £425. £425 in the last 25 minutes. So we are coming close to the end of the conversation. We've got about 20 minutes to go. Hopefully we can still use that to get something up there or not. But whatever it is, the line is still open, and you can make your own contribution accordingly. So thank you. Right. Sorry if I just end your calls there, okay?
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé.
So I'm actually getting something on here, like this, so bear with me.
Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, káwọn ará yìí tó pé wọ́n dé bẹ́ẹ̀ o.
I'll keep trying.
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹ̀yin bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
I hope this work. I don't know why. See, let me put it this way, right? I don't know why. When your call comes through, and then I try to pick that up, right? It just dropped off, and I've been trying to fix that whatever is the problem. So please bear with me.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù ọ̀tá lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ní ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀.
This one works. Oh, I think it worked. Hello, sir.
Yeah. I'm good.
One name. How are you today, Baba?
I do. I just did.
Oh, Sita, my brother, sir. Good enough that I managed to connect yours. I don't know what went wrong. My system started acting up that I started having an issue there. Just
no, I even noticed it. I couldn't even place my call.
Oh dear.
I have to pick up my phone and
sorry, man.
Bring it back.
You meet us on this tonight. We're almost rounding up, and it's good to hear from you. I don't know when you joined, but here we are. Please, Osita.
Yeah. Good to be part of you today, and
Thank
always
you, man.
nice to be part of you all the time.
Thanks, man.
You are more than a professor. And I pray that everybody takes the clue from you on how to moderate things. Even some of us here too. It was just like there was a caller that called some few while ago here, and he was saying that we as the unfortunate Nigerians, we don't like ourselves. But I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that we don't like ourselves. The only thing they did was they successfully weaponized poverty. Yeah. Poverty is not all about. It's not about the cash in pocket.
It's not just about the cash or not having the
but when they say poverty,
right.
Yes, when they say poverty, it has mainly to do with education. So what they did first was to make sure they destroyed the education, which gives us information and knowledge, wisdom. So when they dissolved it, what did they do? They achieved their aim. So if you look at it very well, it is because of you lack knowledge, you lack education. That is the reason somebody will ask you to go and pick up the guns and kill somebody because of an election, because of campaign, because of things like that. That is the reason people resulted in stealing ballot boxes. That is the reason people will mortgage their life because of 200 naira MTN car. One olodo of gari, one olodo of rice. I hope everybody understands what is called olodo. It's not because of our business. I don't remember it again. So those are the things that they have been able to do because of they killed the education sector. Yes. And because of some of us, we are fortunate that our parents were able to do well. We went to school. We find out that we cannot just queue behind these criminals and help them to establish their agenda, their evil agenda. So it is not that Nigerians don't love themselves. Nigerians love themselves. If Nigerians don't love themselves, we will not be here talking about this particular thing.
No.
It has nothing to do with the people. I keep telling people,
yes,
they weaponize poverty. Let us be frank and candid. What we are doing here is soul searching. What we are doing here is to change the mindset of people.
Yes.
Let people understand the reorientation of people, their ideas and ideology. If we cannot...
Deconstruction. Somebody told me that I said it's the construction of the mind that they have managed to condition this way for so long. It takes a while.
Yes, it takes a while. So I want us to know all these things. That is the reason I have never come on this platform for one day and I start talking about what the past generation they did.
What they did good, they did bad. It's none of our detrimental because this particular generation has woken up from slumber, and it is left for us not to look back at what was done the years behind, but let us look at what we can achieve tomorrow for the success of the generations to come, not for the success of Nigeria, because I believe that that structure called Nigeria, I believe that that ideology called Nigeria was formed by a wicked and evil agenda, and that is the reason it has fallen. So I don't appreciate it when somebody came yesterday and said, "Oh, that he's shy or he's not happy to be called a black man." I am a black man, which means I have a color.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about
it. Anybody can give their own description to black, whatever. That's your own description. I'm a black man.
That's
I am proud of it.
That's your own description. I am proud of what I have.
Yes.
And it is what I have to showcase to the world.
That's right.
I want people to see me differently. I want people to see me as passive. I want people to see me as I don't want to use this Nigerian evil this thing that Tinubu used, that he will tell you that he is a Democrat, he is a whatever.
Libra, conservative, Democrat,
conservative, all those nonsense, or Republican. But what we are
not.
Our identity is live and let live. That is our identity. That we can compete with anybody in this world.
Yes.
So I do not accept it when somebody comes and say, that being a black man is a cause. That's their own business.
No.
We
shouldn't
it's their
put
own
that in
business.
our head. We should be proud of who we are. We should be happy of who we are. And we continue to prove that we are who we are.
Yes. And when they are talking about it, they've forgotten that some of them will come and they will preach some certain preachings that the white man, they preach to them, and they say they are side. And we've been preaching that thing that the white man preached to us, and it's not working for us. It's not working. Why don't we fashion our own way of dealing with each other? Please. Thank you very much, my brother.
Bless your sister, as always, yeah? Thank you. You stay safe, Baba, and it's a pleasure talking to you. So I've managed to make another £40 while I speak with Osita. So thank you so much, my decent donor, UK donor, and I think I've got another one that's UK. Okay, Olorun Fair, thank you. Anonymous donor, Yetunde Seriki, thank you, ma, for your own contribution. You've just you've just added to the pot. It's come up now. So thank you to everyone who turned up today. So I'm thinking of taking one more call, and then we'll call it a night. So which means we've managed to raise how much? 445 pounds. That's quite classy. God bless all of you who actually dipped your hands into your wallet and you added this to the pot. Thank you. I mean, we need indeed to all chip in something and get to our target. Maybe by May we can just close it, or maybe June we can just close this fundraiser, and hopefully our own Yoruba Rescue Fund platform will be ready. Okay, so and we will be able to actually fund the struggle of the Yoruba self-determination campaign, obviously. So again, let me take this one. Hello there.
Hello, Mr. Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Good evening to you. Please.
Yes, my name is Ade. I'm calling from Republic of Cyprus.
Oh, Ade from Republic of Cyprus. Grand, Baba.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Good one, man. So you are live, please. Go on.
Yes, I don't have a lot to say, but I don't have problem with anybody trying to give us solutions to, trying to provide solutions to all the problems that face Nigeria and that we are facing in Nigeria at the same time. It is a good thing that we are trying to find a way around this by people agitating for, of course, the Yoruba nation. Of course, that's going to be beneficial for everybody. And at the same time, with the IPOB people, of course, all of us, we are all victims of social injustices.
Absolutely.
But what I believe is, if we decide to fold our hands while we are trying to figure out ways to penetrate and to get these deadly governments and to get them be accountable for all the atrocities they have committed over time. I think the freedom is not going to come like in a hurry, like at least not as much as we expected on time to come on time. But I believe maybe all of us as people in the diaspora, we should push somebody forward. At least there should be somebody we can trust. There should be somebody we can trust and have them participate in our election.
Yeah, you see, the idea of pushing somebody forward is noble. The idea of people coming together and follow someone is ideal. But it is the system. Majority of people ignore that. Okay? Somebody is going to collate your result. Somebody is going to announce the result. And the rest of it, you know it. And it's so obvious these days. Before now, it wasn't this obvious what they have done to rig the system internally. It wasn't so obvious. We just thought that, election rigging is a snatching of ballot paper, snatching of ballot box, this and that. It has gone sophisticated. You get what I mean now? So how do you bridge that?
My own observation is, I have participated in some elections at least before I left Nigeria.
Exactly. Okay.
What I believe is, I believe the election does count. The reason being is that all these people, they put in extra effort to it by trying to pay people to vote for them. And when they do, they have them stay by their vote. They have them, at least I understand that every polling unit always have results at the end of every election time, and they follow it all the way down. I think if we invest as much as all these criminals are doing too, in our own by our own legitimate means, like let us be loyal to our own candidates, it might actually take time. It might take some time. Now, it might not be almost immediate. Let's say we contest this year, and something happens, something happens. We can always bid on that result and do it again, because I believe the only means of fighting these people without losing lots of lives is by contesting in an election and pushing our own person and staying solidly behind that person. And the other alternative round, the other alternative may be by standing side by side with them, right? Trying to rub shoulders with them, trying to stage a very massive protest, like demanding accountability by all necessary means. But that might be deadly.
Like that offense SARS, but you know what happened?
Exactly.
Because that could have been it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that is just my own contribution. I think you are doing a great job. But let me say one last thing, please. I've been a member for a very long time.
Thank you.
When I first landed in this country, I think about 2019, I had an issue because it was one of the medical issues I had that brought me to this country. I had a hip problem. I contacted you for help at some point because things were so bad.
Sorry, man.
But thank God, I found my way through it. I finally got my hip replacement done in March of March 8th of this year. So I'm good. I'm back. Yes. It took me so long. The pain was so much, but thank God, I work somewhere and they're paying well, so I'm really good. So thank you for the attention. At least you said, I sent an email to you and you replied for a few times, even though, you are very busy at this person, so it's very difficult to get hold of you.
I'm so sorry.
You are doing a good job. And God bless you. God stay to your family. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Amen. You too. Thank you so much, Baba. I appreciate that. All right. And thanks for that, your contribution as well. It will go a long way. Good one. Thank you. So this is where I'm going to ask us to draw the curtains now. But I get this. Okay. I'll take it. If we make it brief. Hello there, sir.
Hello, Maiyegun. Good evening. This is Olowo Shoga. Thank you very much, Allah. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I will make it short. I'll make it very short. I will put Nigeria into a context of a company, right? You have a company. You are the managing director of that company, right? And you employ manager At the end of the year, everything is messed up. You know, when you visit your company once in a while, there's no light. Everywhere is dark. You know, the workers are not paid. You see them protesting here and there every day. Even the generator you bought, there's no fuel. Even the building is leaking, roof leaking, drain messed up, everywhere messed up.
Mismanaged.
Now, you continue to change manager day in, day out, but still the same. You put a professor there, still messed up. You put a pastor, the same, imam, the same, PhD, literate, all of them, theology, the same thing. If you are the director of this company, please tell me, how long will you continue this way?
It means that the company is not viable, of course.
Exactly. At a point, won't you consider saying, you know what, let me just shut this thing down, and if I have to build another one, let me build it. That is exactly the point where we are right now in Nigeria. We've tried almost everything. Nothing is working. We've tried professor. We've tried doctor. We've tried Jonathan. We've tried illiterate. All of them, nothing changed. How long are we continue? How long are we going to continue?
We try military, we try interim, we try civilian, we try young, we try old. Waiting, won't try again. We don't try Christian, try Muslim, try Babalawo, Mamala. You know, which one won't try again?
That is exactly where I think we are now. We really have to, you know, break it down. Let's sit down in the round table discussion. Let's have this hard conversation that we've been running from the whole time.
Exactly.
Until not going anywhere. We're not moving anywhere.
I even told people, I said, why are they afraid to sit down together and even discuss if we still want to be together going forward or not? Because they know the majority will say, Mo will break them up. All this grammar we are speaking here, if they throw them open for real, for people, you will be shocked that they will say, Mo, they go our way, Jerry. That's why they won't let that happen.
Exactly. That is exactly the point. That is Baba, I beg. I don't want to you because I see say I've joined for a long time. I see you already rounding up.
Like
thank you, Baba.
Hour. Thank you so much, Olu. I mean, Olu, tell our people that tell them I'm going to be joining them this weekend as well on Sunday on the what's that called again? My space or what's that called?
The Rubicon. The Rubicon.
Oh no, that's the group. What's that app called again?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. So let me tell people that we're going to see you on Clubhouse this weekend. Okay, Baba? I'll see you then. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm so old in that now, honestly. But it's a pleasure anyways, talking to you, Baba, as usual. So, guys, this is where I'm going to draw the curtains, okay? You have been so wonderful. As usual, there is no dull moment. Only those who miss out will always be like, oh, I came late. Maiyegun, why now? Don't stop now. Let's continue. Of course, I would love us to continue. But however, the time is no longer on our side. So I want to say a big thank you to my friends who have now made the contribution tonight above 500 pounds again. So we managed to raise another 500 pounds tonight. Just like last night when we raised about 550 pounds, then overnight, everything turned out to be over 900 pounds, nearly 1,000 pounds. So I want to say thank you to all of you. As usual, you never disappoint me. Now, waiting, you know, one thing I've always been like so thankful for having you as my friend. So thank you. I have seen the donation up there. In fact, let me refresh it so that others can see there too. That we are now at 385. That's so amazing. Trust me. Thank you. So tomorrow I'm going to raise more. So we're going to raise money every day until the end of the month. Then we check our balance with what we have at hand and with what will be released to us from these platforms. So when we get everything together, I'll tell you. And I'll give you an idea of what we can do in May. Once you give your approval, Maiyegun, yes, go ahead, let's do it. Like we did we have done in April. We'll do same in May. So I want to say thank you to all of you, my friends, who never really disappoint. You never disappoint. And I'll keep saying thank you as always. So this dear sister who also dropped our own super chat earlier, I nearly missed her, but thank you. to you and to every one of you who actually called in, those who shared the broadcast, those of you who dropped your offerings, and every one of you who have been commenting to be part of this whole conversation tonight, including those of you who picked up your phones to call in but unable to get connected for the known reasons because of the traffic. I will say thank you to all of you for participating tonight. The next time I'm going to see you is going to be another bigger topic. Tonight was to be a lecture night, and I hope I did well enough just to add to what you know, help you pieces it together, and help you understand why some of us feels like energy should be, channeled towards saving lives than saving those who have taken lives, who want election to validate their fraud. Again, we can only do our parts, whatever it takes. I will say thank you once again, and I'm going to see you some other time. Until then, stay safe and good night to all of you.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádùn yẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ̀ bù.
lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lé ìfóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní bí wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.